Hello, hello. And I am here. Yes, indeed. So we're going to start in about 5 minutes for the actual trivia. Thank you, everyone who has joined in so far, though. Great to see everybody for another Trivia Club live from this Trivia Clubhouse, at least one more time from this specific clubhouse. That'll be fun. As you can tell, I'm now in just a white box. Ooh, ah. The void. But in a nice warm void. A little humid, actually. Hello. Rondai, hello, hello. Glad that you're ready for some fun. Yes, introduce yourselves if you've joined the chat. I'm sure you might also have just been waiting for me, so you don't know that the chat is quite live yet, but say hello. Tell me your team names. If you're new to Trivia Club, of course, you can have your team names. Good to let not only me know, but let your competition know who is out there. Hello to Down by the Bay. Ready to rock once again. And hello to Asquith as well. Hi, Mom and Dad. Good to have the parents involved as always. And happy Father's Day, of course, right off the bat. Happy Father's Day a little early, or a little late to my dad. Or at least through Trivia Club. I've called him, don't worry. Hello to the Cunning Stunts. Hello, Jan. The Spokane Seniors, good to have you back as well. Ooh, from Yellowstone. Fighting Mongooses, present. Check. Ah, Pigot. All right. Gotcha. They feel naked as well. Yeah. We'll get the art walls back up, though, in due time. Hello to Matt Smith. Hello, good friend. Hello to Billy Zane, or F. Billy Zane, that is. The spigot, pronouncing it like spigot, that helped a lot, actually. That one will stick in my head, I hope. No promises, but hey, there'll be a first time for anything. For everything, there's a first time for anything. Oh, yes, thanks for the shirt and tie. Yeah. Hello to the travel buddies. Great to have everybody. We'll be getting started in another minute or two. All you need is a pen and a piece of paper, of course, to write down your answers. Remember not to answer in the live chat. Keep the answers on your pieces of paper or in another chat window. You can team up with everyone that you want to. I mean, we'd like to keep teams from at about 2 to 6, of course. Competitive spirit. But team up with those in your house. Team up with those anywhere over the internet. And of course, hey, you can always play against those in your household as well. Hello to Cookie Faced. Alrighty. Without much further ado, as I joined right before we got things going because I was busy with dinner. Had to get some semblance of, or some version of a curry together. Looking forward to that. That's now just simmering, doing its flavor thing for as long as it needs to. All right, without much further ado, I'm going to count down into it, and then let's jump into Trivia Club. 5, 4, 3. Ooh, I have mute. That went smoothly, everyone. Let's try again with audio on. Miss those technical difficulties. I mean, they never went anywhere, but I just missed them, is all. All right, and
welcome to Trivia Club.
Welcome, one and all, to Trivia Club, live from the Trivia Clubhouse. I am your host, Russel Harder, the man with the bow tie, the man with that trivia plan. This trivia is planned for 3 rounds of trivia goodness. Not even 3 rounds. Wow, I was really in the zone there. 1 round of 20 questions. We are still on YouTube. We are enjoying ourselves. Indeed. I say happy Father's Day beforehand, so I'll say it again, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. A little belated, but still very well meant. Very much meant. Happy Pride as well. It would have been Pride on the 22nd as well in Toronto. Might have been different city, but happy Pride to all as well. Thank you, of course, for staying inside. Staying, of course, quarantined as responsibly as possible. Keeping those numbers as low as possible as well. And thank you, of course, for also fighting a good fight in this anti-racist revolution, as it's turned out to be. So a fantastic job for all those that have done anything that they've done. You just can do what you can do and really just hope for the best. So tonight's trivia is 20 questions, as I said eventually. All you need is a pen and a piece of paper to write down your answers. So I won't be able to interact with the team course. So you'll be marking your own papers after that as well. But you can share your team name in the comments. Please, yes, share your team name. Say hello to everyone. We'll also be asking you to share your points at the end of the night as well. See how everyone does. But and even if you have already shared your team name, say hello. Chat in the live chat for the video. It's always good to see everyone, especially since I can't literally see everyone. It seems very strange in a trivia club sort of way, instead of talking to a room full of people, or even just like 2 or 3 teams, depending on the week, to be talking to a green light on the laptop. So it's a change of pace, is what I'm saying. But thank you all for joining us. Last week's tiebreaker extra bonus question, something we call I Built a VCR, which is an anagram for Trivia Club. The anagram that we gave you after the fact, because I forgot to give it during the video, was Eve Nuke's ear. Eve Nuke's ear. And that actor that could be found in the anagram was Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves. Just a fun anagram as well. And what can we win tonight? Well, talking about tiebreakers or bonus trivia, well, you can't win anything because it's still over the internet. One of these days I will have to buckle down, get some sponsors going, get everything together. Maybe because this has to be a long-term thing for me for Trivia Club. But until then, you can win in your mind's eye that golden VHS. Ooh, golden VHS. What is it? This golden VHS? Well, it is also whatever you want it to be. Really. Specifically, this one is Jumanji, but it can be whatever you want it to be. That is tonight's golden VHS. Once again, whatever movie you want it to be, whatever movie makes you strive for that victory, for those points. You can follow the Trivia Club on Twitter, on Facebook, on iTunes and SoundCloud, where you can find an audio version of this YouTube stream. Also, of course, you can find us on youtube.com/Trivia Club. If you're not already here, that would be confusing anyway. But subscribe, set a reminder for future videos when I've set those up. You can also find all this stuff at triviaclub.ca, the home for all things Trivia Club, triviaclub.ca, with stats and achievements and extracurricular activities whenever all that is relevant, and it's still just fun to look at anyway. But before we get started, there's only 3 cardinal rules when it comes to Trivia Club. Those cardinal rules are: be smarter than that internet connection. If you're cheating for trivia, you're only treating yourself. I mean, we're just doing this for fun. You're just taking the fun away from yourself. Don't post any answers in the comment section as well. Keep that competitive spirit sharp. I'll delete those if I see them up in the live chat, but I can only be so fast about that as well. So keep the answers out of the chat. Thank you very much. And the only other rule of Trivia Club is tell everybody about Trivia Club. It's pretty straightforward. We're the opposite of the Fight Club, just loving and sharing. Loving and caring. Sharing and caring. Oh, I'm being told to move along? Okay. I'm saying hi, Chrissy.
Hi.
Alrighty, let's jump into it. This 20-question night of Trivia Club from home. Yes, live from that Trivia Clubhouse. Question number 1 is actually game over. Ooh, that was quick. So, your first question. Microsoft is shutting down its gaming service named This, which was meant to be a competition for Amazon's Twitch, and will instead be partnering with Facebook Gaming instead. So once again, Microsoft is shutting down its gaming service named This, which was meant to be a competition for Amazon's streaming gaming service Twitch, but will instead be partnering with Facebook Gaming instead. That's that question number 1. Question number 2, the beginning of the end. So question number 2. What social media service dropped the word "the" from its name in 2005? Once again, name the social media service that dropped the name "the" from its name in 2005. Question number 3 now. Question number 3 is called, I know this one. What does the letter I stand for when it's used in math to refer to the square root of -1? Once again, what does the letter I stand for when it's used in math to refer to the square root of -1? Question number 4 now, we're going to connect for the point on this one. What that means is there's a connection between the answers of the second and third questions. If you can tell me that connection, you'll get a point on question number 4. And the connection's only between the answers of 2 and 3. Nothing in the questions. Keep that thinking outside the box on this one. I'll give you the second and third questions, though. Try to get those answers. So, question number 2. What social media service dropped the word "the" from its name in 2005? Question number 3. What does the letter I stand for when it's used in math to refer to the square root of -1? And question number 4, once again, what's the connection between the answers of 2 and 3? Some lateral thinking on this one. Perpendicular thinking. You get what I'm saying. Do you? I do? I don't know. What I'm trying to say is we're all in this together, I guess. Oh, I think my producer's asleep. That's the only time I'll call you out. I'm sorry. Okay. Question number 5 now. It's called Best Known For. Best Known For. For this one, we ask you to name the 4 projects that, according to imdb.com, that Internet Movie Database.com, and its algorithm, that the following filmmaker for this week, the following filmmaker is quote unquote known for. So it'll be the 4 movies, in this case, 4 movies that show up in the known for section of their IMDb page. So it's down to the algorithm of that Internet Movie Database. Tell me the 4 movies that Christopher Nolan, writer and director Christopher Nolan, is known for. Once again, for question number 5, 4 possible points to be won. We get a point for every one of the movies, one of the 4 movies that imdb.com specifically says Christopher Nolan is known for. No rush on this one. Let you talk amongst yourselves a little bit longer. Mm-hmm. Talk to yourselves, even. Question number 6. Question number 6 is called Fielding Streams. So for your question number 6, streaming numbers have been down across all musical genres since mid-March, except for these 2 genres. One of those being because of the age of the listeners, and the other being because of the age of technology that tends to be used to listen to that genre. That's your hint on both of those genres. But yes, once again, for question number 6, streaming numbers have been down across all musical genres since mid-March, except for which 2 genres? Genre. Once again, yes, one of those genres is because of the age of the listeners, and the other is because of the age of the technology that tended to be used to listen to the genre. So you can get 2 possible points on question number 6. Question number 7. So wait, you sit next to people? Question number 7. The horror movie, The Wretched, held the top spot at the American box office for 5 consecutive weekends throughout the thick of the pandemic this year, thanks in large part to drive-ins. and kept the top spot, even though it grossed about $660,000. The wonders of being the only game in town, I guess. So, the last movie to hold down the top spot at the box office for 5 weeks in a row was this Oscar-winning superhero movie in 2018. Once again, the last movie to hold down the top spot at the box office for 5 weekends in a row was this Oscar-winning superhero movie in 2018. A feat that is matched during the thick of the pandemic in the U.S. Not that it's entirely over, but not that it's actually near over, but yes, The Wretched held down that spot for 5 consecutive weekends because it was really the only new drive-in movie. Which, I mean, hey, drive-ins. It saves you from sitting next to people. Question number 8 now. Question number 8 is an audio clue. Yes, indeed, it is called Bit by Bit. I'm going to play an 8-bit cover of a popular song, and you tell me that song title for a point, and tell me the musical act responsible for that song for a second point. This week, I will be kinder with the both the song and the artist. I will say that straight up. And I mean, it's also still, I would say, part of the pandemic playlist. So there you go. Oh, yeah, shout out to, what is it, CBC's Here and Now for the pandemic playlist. But, so for this question number 8, Bit by Bit, done in the style of an old Nintendo song or a old Samsung flip phone, whatever you want to, Motorola, Nokia. Yes, name this song for a point and name the musical act responsible for this song for a second possible point. And bit. Yes, that was your question number 8. That bit by bit song had me going to and fro. I have a little bit more lateral movement on the couch. Yes, name that song for a point. Name the musical act responsible for that song for a second possible point. That was that question number 8. That audio clue. Question number 9 now is called Little Daddy. Little Daddy. So, name the actor in this question. Name the actor who plays the biological father of Julian, the child who, spoiler, Adam Sandler's character eventually adopts in the classic film Big Daddy. So Big Daddy is all about Adam Sandler learning to grow up by adopting a kid who he didn't even want there in the first place. But yes, name the actor who plays the biological father of Julian, that child, in Big Daddy. Here's your question number 9. Question number 10. survey says. This is a game show game here at Trivia Club. It's an actual Family Feud survey question, though. So you tell me what you think is the number one answer as per 100 Americans surveyed. So what do you think their number one answer was? For this following survey says question. So question number 10, a bit of a pantry edition of this question. Name a fruit you can buy dried. So once again, yes, name a fruit that you can buy dried. All I need is what you think is the number one answer is. Though there are 5 possible answers that could get you points. All I need is what you think the number one answer is. There's that question number 10. That survey says, name a fruit you can buy dried. Question number 11 now. It's that man. Which man? That man. That man. So your question number 11. This Batman actor, yes, this actor known for playing Batman, is in talks to return as the character in the still in pre-production movie The Flash. So it's not entirely nailed down, but it was all across the news wires. This Batman actor, this actor well known for playing Batman, is in talks to return as the character in the still in pre-production movie The Flash. Savior of the universe. Wrong Flash. Wrong Flash. Question number 12. Question number 12 is called Time After Time. 4 possible points to be won on this question. Time after time. I'm going to give you 4 historical events, and you tell me which order they happened in from earliest to most recent for a point each. That means that if you're at least even one event off, you could get 2 points instead of 4, let alone, less than that. So here are the 4 events. Put them in the order, of course, from earliest to most recent for a point each. Those events are: the World Wide Web is accessible outside of CERN. So more or less the World Wide Web goes online outside of its place of origin. It becomes worldwide. Nelson Mandela becomes president of South Africa. The Real World debuts on MTV, and Seinfeld premieres on NBC as The Seinfeld Chronicles. So once again, those events: the World Wide Web is accessible outside of CERN, or it's online, and relatively worldwide. It's getting there. Nelson Mandela becomes president of South Africa. The Real World debuts on MTV, and Seinfeld premieres on NBC as The Seinfeld Chronicles. I can always repeat those dates later on that question number 12. Question number 13. We're going to ask you about some harvest helpers. So for question number 13, for a point each, name the 4 musicians who make up the Farm Aid Board of Directors. Once again, yes, for a point each, name the 4 musicians who make up the Farm Aid Board of Directors. I will say that 3 of them were there for the first Farm Aid, I believe. And then the other one was added to the board of directors later. I don't know if that helps or hurts, but Farm Aid. Question number 14, staying within that realm of big concerts for charity. Question number 14 is called In the Air. So, name the drummer turned solo rock star who was the only musician to appear in both London and Philadelphia on pretty much what was the same day for 1985's Live Aid concerts. Has named the drummer turned solo rock star who was the only musician to appear in both London and Philadelphia. I believe the order of appearance was private car to Learjet to helicopter for 1985's Live Aid concerts. Question number 15 now is our second game show game of the night. Is called Countdown Takedown. So for Countdown Takedown, this game show game is played with Price is Right rules with a twist. We want to ask you to get as close as you can to the actual number without going over. The closest team, actually the team that is right on, whoever you are, and there could be multiple of you. If you're right on this number, you can get 5 points. If you're within 25% of the actual number, you will get 2 points. And if you guess even below 25% or even one above the actual number, then 0 points. The 25% range, of course, is keeping away any, smart game theory answers of $1 Bobs. But question number 15. Your countdown takedown question, giving your best guess at the number 4. So 876 people summited Mount Everest in 2019, as you may have remembered. Well, that mess of a situation before this mess of a situation, really it's a different sort of thing now. But in 2020, that summiting season is already over, and the number of people that have reached the top of Mount Everest in 2020 is, of course, significantly lower than 876. So give me your best guess at the number of people who have reached the top of Mount Everest this year. And I will add to the number is less than 50. So once again, 876 people summited Mount Everest in 2019, making it look like some sort of a deadly lineup for, I don't know, like the cashier at a Canadian Tire, for a very local reference. But in 2020, The summer season is already over, and of course, it is lower. Much, much lower. Less than 50, in fact. Give me your best guess at that number. Question number 16. We're going outside the borders. A little vexillology once again. I'm going to give you the name of two countries, and you tell me the color that their flags have in common. So what is the color that the flags of Madagascar and Albania share? So what is the common color between the flags of Madagascar and Albania? That's your question number 16. Question 17, we're going to ask you about some team names. So the team names, I'm going to ask you to give me your best guess with 3 clues for it. Your best guess at the team name that can be found as well in either Major League Baseball, the National Football League, the National Hockey League, or the National Basketball Association. So baseball, football, hockey, and basketball, the pro leagues, at least in North America. What is the team name that can be found from the clues coupon, hair, and nail? Coupon, hair, and nail. Question number 18 now is called What the Dickens? Which is just fun to say. So this Charles Dickens book that takes place in multiple urban areas features the first literary reference to what we call the French fry. Oh, and question number 17, those 3 clues again were coupon, hair, nail. N-A-I-L, nail. I might have done a run-on of nail and nail. So once again, question number 18, this Charles Dickens book that takes place in multiple urban areas features the first literary reference to what we now call the French fry. And question number 19, I'm going to ask you about a con man. So, what is the first name of one Mr. Nast, who in 1909 began a publishing empire that today includes Bon Appetit, GQ, Vanity Fair, and more magazines, forced to reckon with generations of institutionalized racism? Yes, once again, question number 19. What is the first name of one Mr. Nast, who in 1909 began a publishing empire that today includes Bon Appetit, GQ, Vanity Fair, and more? And before I jump into question number 20, our Trivia Royale, are there any questions from the first 19 questions that I can repeat or clarify with the art of repetition? let me know in the live chat. I believe you can also scrub back if need be, but it's also just as easy for me to repeat it. Question number 6 I can do. Here's that question number 6 once again. Hello to the Schmalians, I'm guessing. Yeah. So question number 6. Fielding streams. So streaming numbers have been down across all musical genres since mid-March, except for which 2 genres? I'll say one of those genres is because the streaming numbers are up, indeed, or not down entirely, because of the age of the listeners. And the other is because of the age of the technology that tends to be used to listen to the genre. And I'll do 10 and 14. And for the question on your question number 19 as well, that was, the last name was Nast, N-A-S-T. So, 10. Question number 10 was your survey says. So give me what you think was the number 1 answer as per 100 Americans surveyed in naming a fruit that you can buy dried. And number 14, we're in the air. Name the drummer turned solo rock star who was the only musician to appear in both London and Philadelphia for 1985's Live Aid concerts. Yes, London and Philadelphia in the same day. Thanks to a combination of Learjets. Was it Lear? Probably. Concorde. Yeah, really fast one. Real fast one. Concorde jets, helicopters, and fancy cars, I'm sure. If there's anything else I can repeat or clarify, let me know. All right. Shake yourself out. It's time to give you 5 minutes now to not only finalize those answers from the first 19, but also give me what your best guesses are for your question number 20, this Trivia Royale. So today's Trivia Royale, 5 minutes on the board. And by board, I mean cell phone. So 5 minutes on. Give me your 10 best guesses, or any 10 of the top 20 for today.com. Their list of 20 best TV dads of the last 30 years. So again, yes, Today Show's website, today.com, named the 20 best TV dads of the last 30 years. That's shows that have been on during the last 30 years, not just necessarily premiering in that time. I'll start the timer as I explain further. And this is a newly created list, might I add, too. It was new this week. And remember that the Today Show is on NBC, but the list does feature dads from outside of the NBC shows, actually across all major American networks, and even some additional surprises, not just the big four. And this is the 20 best TV dads of the last 30 years. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to guess any 10, your best 10 guesses for points of the top 20. 10, yeah. You want to make a list of 10. So if you can name more than 10, you want to prune it down to your best 10. So those will give you the best chance for catching some points in this top 20 list. And I'll accept either first and last names, so just the name of the character, or first name, the first name of the character and the TV show that the character was on. Because last names are tough sometimes. But name those 20 best, or 10 of the 20 best TV dads of the last 30 years. These are shows that have been on in the last 30 years, not just necessarily premiering in that time. I will say that they've been on for most of the last 30 years, if that also makes sense. I will say that, yes, good question. I was asked if they were ranked based on how good they were as a character or as a dad. I will say there are some good characters but bad dads on this list. That is fair to say. Yeah, it's not just a quality of dad. It is also quality of character in mind. We're at the halfway mark. 2 minutes, 30 seconds. And remember, yes, you can either give me the first and last names of the characters or the first name and the TV show that that character was on. Either works for me. Yes, even though it was a list made by an NBC website, it's not just NBC dads. It's across all major networks in the US. And additional surprises, I will say. Or additional, even outside of those, for networks. And these 20 best TV dads of the last 30 years can be bad dads if they're good characters. One minute remaining. And these shows, yes, might not have premiered in the last 30 years, but they've certainly been on for the brunt of the last 30 years. For the bulk, if they did not premiere exactly in, what would it be? 1990. Less than a minute remaining. That happened quickly. "30 seconds. 30 seconds. All I need is your 10 best guesses within this top 20 list. So remember to prune any from that top 10 if need be. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, indeed. Time is up. Time is up. Good guesses on those TV dads. Pens down, heads up. Yeah, there you go. So pass those papers to your peers or high five yourself and get ready for some answering. Here we go. Here are those answers from that night of trivia. I have enjoyed including the Trivia Royale once again. It gives a good cemented end for a round of trivia. Like it should be. It feels right. So, Trivia Club at home. A point for every answer. So I'll make it known if there's any halves to be won.
44s.
And oh yes, Nate. News from production is 44 points is our potential total points to be won as well. So, question number 1, game over. Game over. Microsoft is shutting down its gaming service named This, which was meant to be competition for Twitch, but will only now be just part of Facebook gaming instead. I mean, it's kind of apropos if they're mixing in. It's Mixer. Mixer. Like the boring part of an alcoholic drink. Mixer. Alrighty, question number 2. The end of the beginning. So what social media service dropped the word the from its name in 2005? That would be Facebook, once known as the Facebook, and still called the Facebook by myself and I think parents in general. I mean, not all parents, but it's the Facebook. So question number 3, I know this one. What does the letter I stand for when it's used in math to refer to the square root of -1? I is for imaginary. Imaginary. So question number 4, what's the connection between Facebook and imaginary? They're kinds of friends. There are 2 kinds of friends. Yeah. You've got a friend in this one. You've got a friend in this one. All right, question number 5. Best known for. What are the 4 movies that, according to that IMDb.com, Christopher Nolan is known for? So those 4 movies for a point each are Interstellar for a point, Dunkirk for a second point. Dunkirk. Good movie. I mean, the surprise, I will say, in this batch, but good movie. The Prestige, better movie than Dunkirk, just from my perspective. And Inception. Inception. I will agree that, wait, the Dark Knight movies aren't there? Right?
I don't know who Christopher Nolan is.
So once again, Interstellar, Dunkirk, The Prestige, and Inception.
I heard Christopher Guest movies.
If you guessed Christopher Guest movies, you were a guess off. Or a guest off. Question number 4, I can't accept fake news. Only because I literally can't accept fake news. But imaginary friend and Facebook friend, it's just right there. It's right there. It's so. That's more of it. More the reason why. Question number 6. Fielding streams. So streaming numbers have been down across all music genres since mid-March. I mean, they'll probably pick up sooner than later, but which 2 genres defy those expectations? The one that was because of the age of the listeners was children's music or kids' music. And the other one that was because of the age of the technology that tends to be used to listen to that genre is country music. Is country music CDs were a large percentage of country music buys, and streaming is now, because of just the inability to get CDs, finally catching up for country. Once again, children's music and country music. Question number 7. So wait, you sit next to people? The Wretched was the top movie at the American box office for 5 consecutive weekends through the thick of the pandemic, thanks in large part to drive-ins. And The last movie to do this, 5 weeks as number one at the box office, was the Oscar-winning superhero movie of 2018, Black Panther. Black Panther. I'm guessing somebody's booing question number 6, but the logic is there, right? It makes sense, but it is annoying. I understand. Question number 8, bit by bit. So that 8-bit cover of that popular song was Dancing with Myself, oh, 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 etc. Dancing with Myself by Billy Idol. Dancing with myself. By Billy Idol. Question number 9 now. A question about a little daddy, not the big daddy. The big daddy was Adam Sandler in the film classic, the cinematic masterpiece, Big Daddy. But the biological father of Julian, played by those Sprouse kids, those Sprouses, was another New York mainstay. I mean, Adam Sandler wasn't necessarily a New York mainstay, but that's beside the point. But the biological father in that movie was played by Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart of The Daily Show, yes, indeed. Likely his best film role? Unless you're a Death to Smoochie fan, then fair. But question number 10, survey says, name a fruit that you can buy dried. Yes, name a fruit that you can buy dried. I'm going to give you the number 5 answer, so the 1-point answer. Oh, the faculty, that's a good point. And half-baked, I mean, even better point. Thank you, everyone, for calling me out on Jon Stewart, the film legacy of Jonathan Stewart. Green Lantern himself. So your question number 10. Survey says, name a fruit you can buy dried. So your 1-point answer is really just in the eye of the beholder. A real Johnny come lately on this one. That would be apple. Apple. Apple for 1 point. 2 points. I mean, it really is like the number 2. Yeah, the number 2 answer. That would be prunes. Prunes. 3 points. If this one got your tongue. Apricot got your tongue. No? Yeah. Like cat? Apricot? That didn't quite work. But 3 points for apricot. Orange, you glad I didn't say orange, I guess. 4 points for banana. Banana. Dried banana. Not my thing, but I guess it's America's thing.
Banana chips.
Banana chips. Banana chips. Bum, 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 bum. And your number 1 answer for 5 points. This one is the bright light. One that raises the roof. Or raisins the roof, sorry. Yes, it's the wrathful one, the grapes of wrath. So, grape or raisin for number 1 for 5 points. So 5 points for grape or raisin. 4 points for banana. 3 points for apricot. 2 points for prune and 1 point for apple. Dun 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 dun, which is Microsoft, but you get the point. Alrighty. Your question number 11, that answer for that man. Which Batman actor is in talks to return as the character in the still in pre-production movie, The Flash? I mean, forever in pre-production, but That Batman, potentially Backman, is Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton. Mm-hmm. Number 12 now, time after time. We asked you to put these 4 historical events in order from earliest to most recent for a point each. So the earliest of these was in 1989. It was the premiere of Seinfeld on NBC as the Seinfeld Chronicles. 1989. The Seinfeld. In 1991, the World Wide Web is finally accessible online and worldwide-ish. Well, wide, let's say, not quite world. It is a web, so I'll give it that. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. 1991. In 1992, The Real World debuted on MTV. Yeah. And in 1994, Nelson Mandela became president of South Africa. Once again, the order for a point each. From earliest to most recent, Seinfeld premieres. The World Wide Web goes world and wide. At least wide. The Real World debuts and Nelson Mandela becomes president of South Africa. Question number 13 now, Harvest Helpers. So for a point each, those 4 musicians who made up the Farm Aid Board of Directors were Willie Nelson for a point, Neil Young for a second point, John Cougar Mellencamp for a third point, and the later edition, but like in the grand scheme of things, quietly more, maybe one of the, I can't say the most successful, but quietly, wildly successful, Dave Matthews. So quietly for most of us, not for all of us. Once again, for a point each, Willie Nelson, Neil Young, John Cougar Mellencamp, and Dave Matthews. Dave. Question number 14, in the air tonight. So name the drummer turned solo rock star who was the only musician to appear in both London and Philadelphia for 1985's Live Aid concerts. That would be Phil Collins. Philip Collins. Number 15 now, your countdown takedown. So 876 people summited Mount Everest in 2019. As you may have remembered, that wild shot of people queued up with nowhere to go but up, and then how do you get down Everest? You need to. In 2020, though, the summiting season is already over, and that number is actually below 50. So, can I get a drum roll on that summiting number? 49 people summited Everest. 49. 49, yes. What can I say? I was decided to be especially kind because there's potential for points on this one, unless you went especially low. But 49 will get you 5 points. Anything from 48 to 37 will get you 2 points. 48 to 37. 36 and below, unfortunately, 0 points. But also 50 and above. Though I did say less than 50. So if you went above 50, I mean, you went over. Once again, 49 for 5. 48 to 37 for 2 points. For your countdown takedown. 49, of course, yes, being an especially small reduction in numbers as opposed to the 876 the year before. Question number 16 now, outside the borders. So the common color between the flags of Madagascar and Albania is red. Red. Madagascar is a red, green, and white flag, and Albania has a red flag with a black double-headed eagle insignia, I believe. I believe it's an eagle, could be wrong. A double-headed bird. Question number 17, team names. So coupon, hair, and nail. What's the sports team that can be found from those? That would be Clippers. The Clippers. Coupon Clippers, hair Clippers, nail Clippers. Also, 3 things that you don't necessarily need to do in quarantine, but you probably still should. I mean, eventually. In order of importance, hair might even be below coupon, but you can get around to it. Question number 18 now. What the Dickens? So this Charles Dickens book that takes place in multiple urban areas features the first literary reference to what we now call the French fry. Oh, I didn't say that because I haven't clipped my nails. I do. So question number 18, that answer is A Tale of Two Cities. Those multiple urban areas. But also French fries in books. A Tale of Two Cities. Question number 19, con men. So what is the first name of one Mr. Nast, who in 1909 began a publishing empire that today includes Bon Appetit, GQ, Vanity Fair, and more magazines, forced to reckon with generations of institutionalized racism? That would be Condé Nast. So Condé is C-O-N, as in con, D-E. All right, question number 20 now, your trivia royale. Remember, this list was from today.com, so you can blame them, not me. Although I think there's some mostly fun ones, mostly good ones, some surprises, some unexpected ones. And just a touch of NBC bias, because it had to be. Just a touch. It's actually not all NBC, which I'm also impressed by their ability to hold back. Once again, I said it was from this last week, and this features dads on shows that might not have been good, were actually quite bad in parts, but were still dads and good characters nonetheless. And I was looking for your any 10, but I'll give you the top 20. So number 20, I think more on the number 20 side because of his bad dadness than being otherwise a great character. That would be Walter White. Walter White of Breaking Bad. Once again, not a good dad, but a good character. But also a dad, technically. Speaking of bad dads, but good characters, Tywin Lannister. Tywin Lannister from Game of Thrones. Probably the worst dad on this list, and Walt wasn't great. 18 was Michael Bluth. Michael Bluth from Arrested Development. He was a good dad to George Michael. Number 17 was Bob Belcher from Bob's Burgers. Bob. Yeah. Bob. Number 16 was Frank Costanza. Frank Costanza, yes indeed. Jerry Stiller's on the list. The best dad on Seinfeld, Frank Costanza. And Jerry's dad was pretty good. Wasn't Frank, though. Number 15, and I know actually this will be especially a favorite of Matt Smith, is Sandy Cohen from the OC. Sandy Cohen from the OC. A great dad. Fun character and a great dad. Number 14 is, let's see, no, not our first. I was going to say our first network one, but is Raymond Burrow, or Ray, from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Do you have clear? You say Raymond.
Ray Romano is the actor. Did you at least put from Everybody Loves Raymond?
No, that's what I was thinking.
I specified. Number 13 is Tony Soprano from The Sopranos. Once again, a dad technically. I mean, but also technically a bad dad. Number 12, Homer Simpson from The Simpsons. Number 11 is Steve Brady from not the Brady Bunch, but Sex and the City. Yeah, sure. Number 10 is, and this is was a personal, I would say maybe not a favorite, but I mean a pleasant surprise. Number 10 is Johnny Rose from Schitt's Creek. Yeah. CBC, or I guess in this case, probably from their perspective, Pop TV, gets some representation. Johnny Rose from Schitt's Creek. In the top 10, no less. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9 is Eric Taylor, or I would also accept Coach Taylor from Friday Night Lights. He was known as Coach Taylor as a father figure, so acceptable. Number 8, Andre Dre Johnson from the ABC show Blackish. Andre or Dre Johnson from Blackish. Number 7 on this list. Oh, and I didn't specify, but these don't have to be in order. They just have to be anywhere on your 10. But number 7 was Danny Tanner from Full House. Danny Tanner from Full House. Number 6 was Carl Winslow from Family Matters. Number 5 from This Is Us is Randall Pearson. Randall Pearson from This Is Us. Number 4 is Dan Connor from Roseanne. Dan from Roseanne. Or the Connors, I would also accept. Number 3 is Philip Banks, otherwise known as Uncle Phil, from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I would accept, yes, Uncle Phil, of course. Or Philip Connors, or Phil Banks. I mean, not Phil Connor. Who's Phil Connor? Anywho, Philip Banks or Uncle Phil from The Fresh Prince. Number 2, Phil Dunphy from Modern Family. Phil Dunphy. Oh, yeah, Phil Connors? Thank you. That's why it was in my mind. Phil Connor? Appreciate it. So yes, once again, Phil Dunphy from Modern Family in the 2 spot. And number 1, Another This Is Us representation. Again, the NBC bias shows through right here for Jack Pearson. Jack Pearson. Milo Villamenti, his character. Jack Pearson, or Jack from This Is Us. Keith Mars was robbed. Red Foreman was robbed. I agree. So once again, those names: Walt White, Tywin Lannister, Michael Bluth, Bob Belcher, Frank Costanza, Sandy Cohen, Ray Barone, everybody loves Raymond, Tony Soprano, Homer Simpson, Steve Brady, Johnny Rose, Eric or Coach Taylor, Andre or Dre Johnson, Danny Tanner, Carl Winslow, Randall Pearson, Dan Connor, Philip Banks or Uncle Phil, Phil Dunphy, and Jack Pearson. Oh, and also some great. Uncle Phil was an uncle, but he was also a father to Carlton and the other kids. They're not coming to mind, but he also had kids. And yes, some great points. The fact that Marty Crane was a fantastic dad for all of his lazy boys. Al Bundy was a fun character, if not an awful dad. Not as bad as others on this list. Don Draper, also a dad, if not a good dad or good man. It's the NBC bias, though, for you. A fun list, though. Let us know what kind of points you got in the live chat as you add together these points for these questions. I think I saw be asking about the answer for question 12. So yes, question 12. The answer for that, the order you were looking for was, for a point each in the correct order, Seinfeld, World Wide Web, Real World, and Nelson Mandela, in that order. And I'll give you some bonus trivia as well, a tiebreaker if needed, as the point totals continue to come in. Let us know what kind of points you got. Let us know your team names as well. Well done once again, all. Thank you all once again for playing. And also write this in the chat. The anagram. Once again, we're going to give you I built a VCR, an anagram of Trivia Club. It'll be an anagram that you'll try to unmix for either points or for fun. But I ask you to find the video game in the following anagram. That anagram is Stealth UFOs. Stealth UFOs. All right, let's check out how the teams did tonight. Well done to Cookie Faced with 28 points. Well done to Down by the Bay with 38 points. The score to beat tonight so far. 27 points for the questionables. Congrats. The Ask with A's got 21 points. 22 points for F. Billy Zane. 26 for the Fighting Mongooses. 35 points for the Cunning Stunts. Spokane Seniors got 11 points. Had fun. Thank you for joining in once again. 31 points, another team over 30 for the M. Night Shyamalan's. 9 points for Jan. Well done. 25 points for the Bonnie Hunters have become the Bonnie Hunted. 16 points for your producer. 33 points, another team over 30 for Mark Paget's Glasses. And the anagram category, once again, find the video game in the following anagram: Stealth UFOs. Video game we're looking for this time. So it looks like the top score this week, at least within the live chat portion. Well done to Down by the Bay with 38 points. Well done all once again. Thank you for joining in. We'll be back actually in 2 weeks' time. Is it 2 weeks? 1, 2, or 3, actually. 3 weeks' time on July 14th. Taking some time at the end of the month to, move and otherwise get settled, and then taking additional personal time to move into the front half of the month and make sure all is going well. We'll see you soon, though, on the other side of this, with more Trivia Club, of course, live from a Trivia Clubhouse. Great to see you all. Thank you all once again for joining in. One more time. Happy Father's Day to my dad and all the other dads out there. And a happy Pride as well to everyone. Oh, and fire off those 3 a.m. fireworks responsibly in the meantime. So I don't know if you're living in an urban area, but they are a popular thing. Yes, you'll at least see me. I'll hope to see you again one of these days. See you on July 14th. You can subscribe. You can like trivia. You can find it all across the internet. Find us on triviaclub.ca. Tonight's champions are whoever stays inside responsibly and just keeps this pandemic as small as we possibly can. Listen to the experts. They know what they're saying. So, otherwise, there's only one more thing to say. It's the same thing we say at the end of every night, and that is, remember, it's not what you know, it's what you learn along the way. Yay!
Thanks for playing, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you soon. Thank you.